Hey, what's up everyone? It's SpaceDad here, and welcome to my studio. Now, a few days ago I asked you all for help with a little problem I was having. Basically, I have a mechanical keyboard, the keycaps were getting a little worn, some of them were popping off and trying to escape, and I wanted to change it up a little bit. I wanted to go with a different color layout, and so I was going to mix match two sets of keycaps and go with either white letters with black modifiers or black letters with white modifiers, and I really couldn't decide on what I wanted. Well, the results from my socials are in, and on Instagram, white with black got 65% of the vote, black with white only 35%. Twitter, white with black got 62%, black with white got 38%. And on YouTube, an astonishing 74% of you voted for white letters with black modifiers and only 26% for black with white. So it's safe to say that the winner is white letters with black modifiers. Now let's take a look at this keyboard, shall we? Memories. Here's what it looked like when I first bought it. Not too bad, but we can definitely improve on that. Took it apart, primed it, painted it, so many coats. Let it dry, put it back together. For a finishing touch, wrap the wrist rest in glow-in-the-dark vinyl. And here we go. It is the Shiro Atlas edition of the Logitech G710 Plus. This already came orange, which I left because it kind of fits the aesthetic. And here you go. Here are the white keys with the black modifiers. I switched these out with black and white to kind of make more of a definitive V shape. I tried doing a couple of the ones in the middle to make it more of a V, but I couldn't really get it to look symmetrical or right, so I just left it like this. I'm pretty happy with it. As you can see, everything still shows through nicely. Looks good. The only thing it didn't come with were these G keys on the side, so I actually sourced those from somewhere else. And those are little dice to commemorate all the times that Shiro almost died. And now what you've all been waiting for. And now for the review. Alright, this is what I used. I used Corsair's PBT double shot keycaps. They come in black and white. I used both. And let's check these out. The one thing that they really advertise is the fact that these are two pieces. You got the clear piece down here, you got the opaque piece that has the color on it up there. And so that apparently keeps the legends, or what you call the little things that the light shines through for the letters, from fading. Now these keycaps come with a full set of caps as well as some extras for different layouts you might have. They also come with a nice little key puller there. Now here's how they look on the board. As you can see, without the backlighting on, the legends are still quite legible, even on the black ones. The font is kind of polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it. I actually love it because it makes it really easy to read even when the backlight's off, and then when you turn on your backlight, let's see, it shines through quite nicely. Obviously these are a little bit uneven, but that's going to be that way on any keycap. It was like that with the originals as well. And I think these do a really nice job of letting the backlight shine through without being too overpowering. Now, if I had to complain about the font, I'd complain about the abbreviations that they had to use to make the fonts fit. You know, Pagoo is kind of lame. Pagud is kind of lame. But on the upside, I have a homie key here and a homie key here. Two homies on my keyboard. These keycaps actually feel great. They're definitely a bit taller than the originals, and they're heavier, and they're a thicker gauge of plastic, as you can tell. I mean, look at how cheap and thin that is. And these are pretty robust. So there's a pretty significant difference there. The other thing that's different about these is the texture that they have. As you can see, there's kind of a little bit of a rough texture that makes them feel really, really nice to type on, as opposed to these where it's just painted. So once the oils in your fingers and all that all start to wear away at the paint, they start to get really smooth and they don't feel so good. Another pretty big difference about the caps is that the original ones came pre-installed with these little rubber grommets that help to silence the clack a little bit. The Corsair ones do not. I wanted to quiet it down a little bit, so I basically just bought a big set of the rings myself. So that's another thing that you kind of have to factor into the price of these keycaps if you want to go with these. One of the most significant differences is that with this stock spacebar, the switch is right here. The switch is just right here, and these are just dummy switches that serve to kind of keep this thing stabilized so that no matter where on the spacebar you press, it should, in theory, activate that switch. Well, the problem is that these are super loose. So when I would be doing things, I use Pro Tools a lot, and usually my hand's right here, and I hit it from this side. Well, what would happen is that this would shift up ever so slightly, and just enough so that I would be hitting this, but it wouldn't be activating the switch in the middle, and that was super annoying. Well, this thing fits a lot tighter, and no matter, and I beat up on these pretty much, so no matter where I hit this, it still activates this really nicely, so that's super satisfying. Now, I know a lot of you like me love these keyboards because they clack, and they give you a really nice positive feedback, and they give you an especially nice, satisfying enter, delete, escape, space. It all sounds good. Once you go clack, you never go back. So overall, I love these keycaps. If they have one drawback, it's the price. They're $50. $50 for a set, plus Corsair is going to charge you like $10 to ship them. You're going to pay tax, so you're already at like $65. If you want to get the little silencer grommets, you're going to have to spend another $5 or so on Amazon or wherever you buy them from. So already you're looking at close to $70 for keycaps. You can kind of get a new keyboard for that price. It won't be the best keyboard, but I mean, just to put in perspective how much these things cost. And if you want to do a look like I did here, you're going to be buying 2 sets of these. That's a lot of money for keycaps. Luckily, I found a couple of good deals on eBay, so I didn't pay the full retail price, but you're not going to be that lucky, possibly, and it's a lot of money to spend for keycaps. That being said, it is something that I use every day. I was really dissatisfied with the keycaps that came originally on the keyboard, and for Corsair keyboards or Logitech keyboards, they use a non-standard bottom row, which has a longer space bar, and then some strangely shaped control OS and Alt keys, which really kind of messes up your deal. You can find a lot cheaper keycaps if you didn't have that non-standard bottom row, but such is life with a Corsair or a Logitech keyboard, and these are really your only options, unless you want to go get some stuff off of Alibaba and then wait a couple of months and have some pretty crappy quality keys that they're always out of stock on the good colors anyway. So to wrap up, here's how it all stacks up. The pros are, they look great, they feel great, they're good quality. The cons are, they're expensive, not everybody's going to like the font, and yeah, I think that's it. So, little here, little there, but I like them. I think they look great. I think my keyboard looks pretty sweet.